Hello, good day everyone. So today we'll be reporting about Buddha. So in today's discussion, we will have our 4 subtopics, which is first, who is Buddha? Second one is Buddha a philosopher? Yes or no? Third, is Buddha a god? And lastly, what are the 5 rules of Buddhism? So, who is Buddha? Buddha was a philosopher, meditator, spiritual teacher, and religious leader who lived in ancient Nepal, which is about 5th to 4th century before Christ era. He was also the founder of the world religion of Buddhism. He also taught for around 45 years and built a large following, both monastic and lay. His teaching is based on his insight into dukkha, typically translated as suffering, and at the end of dukkha, the state called nirvana. Is Buddha a philosopher? So, yes, Buddha is a philosopher. He is one of the most important Asian thinkers and spiritual masters of all time. He contributed to many areas of philosophy, including epistemology, metaphysics, and ethics. So the Buddha's teaching formed the foundation for Buddhist philosophy, initially developed in South Asia, then later in the rest of Asia. Since Buddha is a philosopher, let us have some examples of his philosophies. So first, the Buddha thought the beings were born into their position because of past karma. Second, he thought that there were 6 realms of existence. So that would be hell, insatiable spirit, animal fighting spirit, human, heavenly being, and lastly is karma, or also called the cause-effect relationship. The third one is the enlightenment or escape from samsara. Everything is marked by suffering, change, and emptiness. And lastly, emptiness in this context means empty of an unchanging essence or self or soul. So that's it for my part.
Next question is Buddha a god? The answer is no. Buddha is considered an extraordinary man but not a god. The word Buddha means enlightened. The path to enlightenment is attained by utilizing morality, meditation, and wisdom. And Buddha's most important teachings, known as the Four Noble Truths, are essential to understanding the religion. The Four Noble Truths are a contingency plan for dealing with the suffering humanity faces, suffering of a physical kind or of a mental nature. The first truth identifies the presence of suffering. The second truth, on the other hand, seeks to determine the cause of suffering. Desire and ignorance lie at the root of suffering, and Buddhists refer to craving pleasure, material goods, and immortality, which can never be satisfied, and it only brings them suffering. The third noble truth is the truth of the end of suffering, and it has dual meaning, suggesting either the end of suffering in this life on earth or on the spiritual life through achieving nirvana. When one has achieved nirvana, which is a transcendent state free from suffering and a worldly cycle of birth and rebirth, spiritual enlightenment has been reached. The fourth noble truth charts the method for attaining the end of suffering, known to Buddhists as the Noble Eightfold Path, and these includes the right understanding, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration.
There are several teachings that govern how Buddhists behave, and one of those are the 5 rules of Buddhism. Buddha's 5 rules are the most important system of morality for Buddhists. What are the 5 rules? First, refrain from taking life, not killing any living being. This mainly pertains to human life, or to not taking the human life, but Buddhist also includes animals. That explains why all of them are vegetarians. Second is refrain from taking what is not given, not stealing from anyone. So it's a big no-no for Buddhists to steal, even to take something without asking permission, especially if that belongs to someone else. Third is refrain from the misuse of the senses, not having too much sensual pleasure. So yes, Buddhists can have some sensual pleasure, but not too much, such as looking at the opposite sex in a lustful way. And fourth is refrain from wrong speech, not lying or gossiping about other people. So it's also a big no-no for Buddhists to talk about the person behind their backs. And lastly, refrain from intoxicants that cloud the mind. An intoxicant refer to alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs. So consumption of these chemicals is a big no-no for Buddhists. Following closely these 5 rules is very special for a Buddhist because it means that their agony or suffering would end.
I need somebody who